Hi there, this is Claudia again, your early childhood educator slash educational assistant and also child advocate, coming to you from my backyard this time. It's so nice to see you guys again and glad to be here, right? And today we are going to be talking about poop. What about constipation? How does constipation affect our children with special needs? Well, before we start though, I just want to give a little shout out to, let me tell you who I'm shouting out today with these trusty glasses. I am shouting out today Image Optical at 55 Mountain Ash Road in Brampton. Image Optical got me these awesome glasses. What do you guys think? If you guys are in Brampton and you want to check out a really cool people, you can check out Image Optical because I feel like they did me good. What do you think? I feel they did me really good. Anyway, so on with the show. Representing me always shirt and always respecting you, right? We're going to get started. All right. So, what about constipation? According to many doctors, they feel that the idea of being constipated is like if you're going to the bathroom and doing your bowel movement 3 times a week, that is borderline, and anything less than 3 times a week is considered constipation. Um, but my favorite guy, Dr. Bobby Price, one of my favorite guys, Dr. Bobby Price says that um, actually, Dr. Bobby Price says that if you are not going to the bathroom after every meal, then that's in essence a problem. And I kind of agree with that because technically, what's supposed to happen, you're supposed to eat your food and then go to the bathroom. Eat your food, then go to the bathroom. Eat your food and then go to the bathroom. If you are going once a day, what's happening with the other 2 meals that you would have eaten, and it's sitting inside your body and it releases the nutrients, it releases the water, the rest of it is waste. Where is it going? Makes sense to me that that would mean that something is up if it's not being released at least twice a day. And 3 times a week just seems like it's not right. But anyway, children with special needs, because of their dietary habits and the dietary limitations that a lot of them have, they might be more constipated than the regular child because there are certain foods that they will not eat because of textures and things like that. It's about training, I believe. Like you have to train them to end up eating certain foods, and there are trainers that actually do things like that. And hopefully, I'm going to be doing a little bit more research on those individuals that maybe I could connect you guys with because. What you're putting in your mouth, I always say, it doesn't just affect here down, it affects here up too. So, very important for us to try and teach, especially our children with special needs, how to eat differently. Or how to, accept certain healthier versions of things, right? So, even if they Dr. Bobby Price and others have said that even if your child is passing like a loose stool, that might still be a sign of constipation, right? Because what happens is that because of the child's limited dietary restrictions, they might actually, the stool ends up being in there and gets hard. And when you eat more, the stool that has not yet hardened might seep through the sides of the colon and then come out as loose stool, right? And when it comes out as loose stool, the other hard stool is still in there, causing more issues, right? And when the that's actually evidence of constipation too. So even if you're getting the loose stool, it still might be evidence of your child or you being constipated, because the loose stuff is coming out, leaving the hard stuff behind, right? But at the end of the day, there are things that we can do about that, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But why is constipation bad? Okay, constipation is bad for two main reasons. The first reason, of course, is that you're uncomfortable when you're constipated. And if you're uncomfortable, you're in pain in the gut, maybe, and with a lot of children with special needs, you might find there are things that you see them doing, like walking on their tippy toes, because they're actually uncomfortable, so the uncomfortable feeling is one reason why constipation is not a good thing. But the most important reason why constipation is not a good thing and how it affects children with special needs is that the toxins in the stool. There are lots of toxins that are in the stool when it stays in your body, and the longer it stays in your body, the more possibility there is of more toxins being re-released into your body. So it's already there because you've eaten maybe foods that are not that beneficial to you, right? And then in addition to that, the longer it stays inside the intestines, the longer it has to reabsorb into your body and cause more issues. And also inflammation, of course, according to Dr. Sebi, how inflammation is the root of all evil. Okay, so when the toxins are re-released and issues come about, as I said, you get maybe some of the children walking on their tippy toes. That's a result of their uncomfortableness or them trying to alleviate the pain or the uncomfortableness that they're feeling. And you also get more meltdowns, and you also get more stimming as a result of the constipation. And also you get them not sleeping well. That's an issue in itself, because if you're not sleeping well, everything in your life is thrown off, right? I know about that. That's a story that I could tell, but that's a story for another day. All right, so constipation is a sign of something else is wrong in the body, okay? What can we do about it now? So they have things like Marilax. Marilax is something that you use in an emergency, really, because Marilax is really not very good for children. But people use it, or doctors suggest it as a means of getting the food, the waste out as much as possible, because it staying in there is a problem in itself, right? So, they also have things like Senna. Right? And Senna actually it can work too, but it causes cramps because it causes the gut to contract like this. So it causes cramps inside the stomach, right? To help to push the waste out. And of course, your child will be uncomfortable already, and then worse now with you giving Senna as a way to release it. But it's also in a bind. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? The lesser of two evils, although I don't really agree with the lesser of two evils, but you understand what I'm trying to say. So, they also have something they call Colace. And Colace is also something that you can take to help to soften the stool and let the feces go down. But the Colace is something like this. It's not like, if you're in a rush, you can't really use things like this, because it takes its own time to relieve the child's constipation, right? But there are natural ways, which I am all 150% for. Always the natural way, right? Drinking as much water as possible. Hopefully you'll be able to get the liquids in them. Fiber. very important. And you get the fiber, of course, from as many fruits as you can get into their systems, right? Things like quinoa, various vegetables are also very beneficial. Prunes and prune juice, and prunes are sweet, so maybe you might be able to get that in because they're sweet. And the juices too actually help to make them more regular, right? And magnesium, something they call magnesium glycinate. Magnesium glycinate is actually, it actually has a lot of different benefits too. So it's not just good for regular bowel movements. It's also good because it helps you sleep. It helps with your mood. There's lots of different things, and it's worth your research. Magnesium is something that is very beneficial to optimal health, for optimal health. So it's something that you as an adult and also your children, you should try and put into their diets as something that you regularly do. These things should not be something that you do just because the child isn't well. It's something that you do to maintain their health as much as possible, so that these things don't end up coming up and causing the issues that they usually do cause because of our because we might not be giving them as much like fiber and stuff like that as possible, right? Then there are fish oils, because the fish oils actually act as a lubricant for the feces to be able to go through the colon and stuff like that, right? And there's something that's on the market that's called Pooper. It's called Pooper, and it's made by the company that it's made by is called NDF. That's worth your research too. It's a natural liquid, and I believe that the flavors are really good for our little people because it doesn't taste gross and disgusting, so they might not want it, So it's definitely worth your research. So as I said, guys, at the end of the day, when it comes to constipation, who knew that having your feces stuck inside of you could actually affect the child's behavior? And affecting the child's behavior at the end of the day affects you, because they're uncomfortable, which makes you uncomfortable. Even when your children are sick, if it's affecting them, it's affecting you. So your life isn't the way you might want it to be as a result of them not being well. So it's worth our research to check those things out, right? So I think that's all I'm going to say about that. And as always, I'm bigging up Dr. Bobby Price. I'm bigging up Image Optical today. And I'm bigging up you guys for staying and watching and wanting to make your lives better, And again, making your lives better means that it's all about our way of thinking. And our way of thinking works much better when we're putting the proper things in here, so that blood-brain barrier, positive goes into the brain and the negative wastes come out of the body. This is what we're looking for on a regular. So with that, I'm going to say, representing me always, respecting you. Peace and blessings.